Are you old enough to remember what humdinger is? What's a humdinger?
No.
Now,
I don't
being
know,
a former
actually.
cruise ship director.
Yes.
No, it's kind of like a woohoo, zowie.
Got it.
It's a fancy thing.
I used to play, we used to have to play a game on the cruise ship that had humdinger, where you had to hum a song and people had to
that's
guess
great. Well, that's
what
probably
the song was,
from that
but
old-fashioned word.
Probably. Too funny. It's time for my pick of the show. This is a new series of plant. It is the Humdinger series, Magenta Munchkin Butterfly Bush. The magenta color adds such a vividness and a great fragrance. Carolyn, you were saying these smell like vanilla honey.
Vanilla honey. Not all butterfly bushes, or buddleia as they're called, have that fragrance. I think this one's really special.
It really truly is. You are seeing that one piece that you're going to get here, and in that gorgeous magenta. And then Carolyn, help us out with the purples and the magentas. Are we going to kind of get a variety?
No, you're going to get a magenta. Some of these pictures look more purple, and you can tell not a super sunny day when these were taken.
Got it.
So
Okay.
sometimes it's hard to tell what kind of lighting there was. But these were named magenta by the grower because they do have more of a magenta tone than a dark purple. So I think that makes them really extra special. You got that little bit of pink in there with the purple. So with these, you're getting one piece. This is a compact butterfly bush. It's going to get 3 feet tall by 4 feet wide. That is excellent for a butterfly bush. Not only doesn't it get out of control big with crazy branches invading other parts of your garden, and often you have to cut those every year.
Right.
But this is going to stay at the level of your first floor windowsill, so you can actually use these as foundation plants if you wanted to in front of the house, whereas most butterfly bushes you couldn't do that.
Okay.
The other thing I love about having a compact butterfly bush is that the butterflies are at eye level. So you're not looking way up to see the butterflies way up there on a 6-foot plant. They're flying right in front of you, so you can enjoy them more out the window when you're having your brunch or whatever.
This is a perennial, so you can have those butterflies return year after year. Great in your garden or in a container as well. And Carolyn, you suggested that maybe this would be great with marigolds or with the oregano as well.
The marigolds or the oregano would work really well with this because they all like the same type of climate, soil, amount of water and everything. Remember, all of these are going to be on this long conical stem, and all of these individual little flowers are going to attract butterflies. So I know a lot of us really appreciate butterflies in the garden, not only because they help pollinate and make more flowers, but because many people believe butterflies are kind of a sign sent from a loved one who's gone to heaven and is sending us a special message. I know when my brother passed away 17 years ago now, I can't believe it's been that long.
Wow.
He was only 45, he had an illness, and we lost my brother, but my parents that same year, months later, were celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. And so we said, don't cancel, Mom and Dad, we want to do something happy.
Yes.
So we had a party in our town, but everybody was over at the house first. And when I looked out in the backyard, there were like literally thousands of butterflies on my row of butterfly bushes. They were all covered with butterflies, and I said, that's Matt.
Yeah.
He sent them. And I know a lot of people feel that way, and so you love having butterflies come around your yard and your garden. This is the centerpiece of a pollinator garden. Rachel, if you're doing that, maybe you're going to put your Asclepias, which I believe we had just had on or coming up with Roberta's, which attract the monarch butterflies. But you know, all of these little pollinator plants in my collection can make up the rest of that garden. But this is kind of like your centerpiece, and it's just a focal point.
Yes. Oh, that was such a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing
you're
that.
welcome. You're welcome.
Let's talk about how it's going to be shipped to us.
So again, big plant, not a baby, ready to go. So this is a perennial, so it's going to get a little bit bigger than, I'd say, probably what you're seeing right here is going to be this first season.
Great.
It's going to get a little bit bigger than that. It'll get about 4 feet wide and 3 feet tall altogether. But it's off to a really good start, as you can see. And we've staked it in your pot that you get so that it'll help it to stay upright. But once the roots are established, all of these are going to form this wonderful sort of mounded 3-foot colorful circle of these big buds.
Okay.
And again, they will be more of that magenta color, not a dark purple.
When we plant, is it okay to remove the stakes?
Absolutely. Well, you know, anything that comes with a steak, I usually leave it in there for a few weeks.
Okay.
If you can tell when your baby tree or your plant outgrows the steak is either tipping over, the plant has gotten stronger than the steak or taller, then you can remove it.
Okay.
I mean, it really, unless you don't like the look of it, but it really does help them to get going.
Okay. And talk to us about sun versus shade for these ones.
These can do well in sun or part sun. I would not put them in total shade. They also require just a regular, nothing fancy in the soil, well-drained soil. Doesn't need to be particularly wet. So just a drier, little bit damp soil for these, and then make sure they do get some sun. Mine are in a really sunny part of my yard that gets afternoon sun that's really hot, and they do really well out there.
Great.
But again, if you don't have that hot sun part of the day in your yard, just put them where they get a little bit of sun, about 4 hours.
And remember, when you shop at QVC, you don't have to have any guesswork, because we're only going to ship these to you when it's ready for your zone. And my note says 5 through 9 for
Yeah,
for
these
this?
will grow pretty much everywhere unless it's like a super tropical part of the country. A lot of these plants that are perennials, they like to have a little bit of a frost over the winter. This doesn't have to have it like a hydrangea, but zone 9 is pretty much the maximum for a buddleia tree like this, or a buddleia shrub. But I like it. Remember, it's compact. It doesn't get outlandishly leggy or tall or tip over, require trimming. And you don't really need to deadhead these either unless you want to. You know, the blooms last for a really long time. And sometimes they'll get, you know, at the top might be spent, but then you've still got all kinds of flowers coming out towards the bottom. So just wait till they're all done before you trim that off.
Oh. Many of you are picking up more than one. I can't blame you. I think you should. $27.98. They're going to bring those butterflies and just be a beautiful part, a beautiful addition to your garden. And remember, a warranty, so you don't have to worry for perennials. A year warranty for annuals, 3-month warranty.
That's right.
So you can shop with confidence here at QVC.
We want you to be successful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ask questions. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to help you out. And we're going to compare notes all summer long on our plants. So don't worry, we're not going to leave you hanging.
Oh, I love that. I love that about QVC. You can be part of a community when
That's
you
right.
shop. Very different from going to your garden store. So make sure you take advantage of some of these really great sale prices and
Thanks,
products.
Rachel.
So good to see you.
Good to
Thank
see you
for
too.
being
Thanks,
here.
everybody.
Now, I want you to stay right where you are. We have an hour coming up of Ultimate Innovations with Roxanne De Palma, more live plants, and every single item in the show is under $20. So stay right there. We'll see you soon.